Welcome to OVLYR Live. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 news stories of the day. First story is, if you're not off of Facebook yet already, now might be the time for you to do so. The next story is Warren Buffett's wife is complaining. Find out what she's complaining about. Stay tuned for that. And lastly, this family just sold $4 billion worth of stock. Who is it? Why? Tune in to find out why. Hey, welcome to OVLYR Live. My name is Christopher Ewell, and if you love talking about stocks and finding amazing outlier trades with outsized returns, well, you're in the right place. Be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And before I forget, today's episode is sponsored by OVLYR.com. Go to OVTLYR.com to find out why outliers win. Now, our top story of the day, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak says, "Get off of Facebook." I mean, really, what are we doing on Facebook these days? That's what Steve Wozniak wants you to know. And he says there's many different kinds of people. Some, Facebook is worth the loss of privacy. Now, as we know, Facebook has been in a whole heaping helping of trouble for consistently. This is their business practice at this point. Consistently selling the data of their users. And who benefits from that? Certainly not the users. Facebook does. Facebook doesn't care about you. Facebook doesn't want you to have any sort of privacy. They want to know every single little intricate detail of your life so they can sell that to advertisers. And Steve Wozniak knows that, and he says now is the time to get off Facebook if you aren't already. Hey, let me know in the comments down below. Are you still on Facebook? I'll tell you my personal opinion. I haven't been on Facebook in ages. Facebook is for old people at this point, right? The only thing that I'm on personally, if you want to interact with me, is on X, the formerly Twitter platform. I'm just still going to call it Twitter. The only thing you're going to find me on is Twitter. Everything else, honestly, is outdated. Twitter's the only game in town. Steve Wozniak knows that, and that's why he's telling people get off of Facebook. So let's take a jog down memory lane. I believe Mark Zuckerberg was testifying before Congress one day saying, no, we don't sell this information. No, we don't. We keep everything private. And then not too long after that, they had a huge blow up with Cambridge Analytica, where all of their data that they were sharing got exposed. And it's like, oh, geez, we have really messed up this time. So Facebook has not immediately responded for comment. But Wozniak hasn't been on Facebook since 2018. And I mean, if somebody like this, somebody with a tech sector background, somebody with the knowledge, the wherewithal, and the voice, the platform to tell you if you're still on Facebook to go ahead and get off of it, let's be realistic here. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Now's the time to get off of Facebook. Let's take a look real quick. Meta, Facebook's parent company, got a sell signal all the way back on July 5th. And that's in the OVLYR platform. Now, I don't know if Wozniak saw this. It's possible he may have. But I don't think he's going to be the only person saying that. Right now, Disney seems to be in everybody's target for a company to rag on. But there's a great chance, especially with, honestly, the utmost failure of what Threads started out as, with 100 million users when all they had to do is click a single button to get over to Threads from Instagram. Let's be honest here. It was never going to go anywhere. And anybody who's trying to tell you that Threads is the next big thing is completely wrong. And Steve Wozniak will tell you, you know what? I don't care what Facebook is selling these days. If it's Threads, Instagram, anything in between, get off of it. Stay off of the Facebook architecture and stay as far away from Meta as you can. And maybe as an investor, you might want to do the same. So if you like that story, or maybe if you like the downfall of Facebook, hit the like button down below, and let's move into our next topic. Oh, Warren Buffett's wife, she's complaining about a $4 cup of coffee. And this has set the internet on fire. Because of course dude's wife can afford it. It's not about the fact that she can afford it. It's about the fact that coffee costs, I don't know, fractions of a penny to produce, per cup. Of course, there's a huge chain that leads up to that. But the actual cup of coffee might cost 2, 3, 4, 5 cents. and for the fact that she's having to pay $4, 100 times that much, 100 times the value, people are up in arms about that. But let's break this down a little bit, right? She is not complaining, saying, oh, this coffee's terrible. She's looking at it from an investor's perspective. Would Mr. Warren Buffett himself want to pay 100 times more than what the coffee is actually costing the company to produce? I would venture to say no. And so his wife, being the wife of the greatest investor of all time, has that same mindset. Why am I going to pay 100 times more for this cup of coffee? I don't care if it's at the summer camp for billionaires. A $4 cup of coffee, that's a $4 cup of coffee. And Warren Buffett's wife, Astrid, I believe, is a very astute investor, especially because she is married to the man himself. Now, Starbucks actually got a sell signal back on June 30th inside of the OVLYR platform. And, I mean, let's break this down. She doesn't want to be paying buttloads of money for a humongously overpriced cup of coffee. OVLYR data has been showing a sell signal. This could be the downfall of Starbucks. Maybe, maybe not. But realistically speaking, the internet is all kinds of a tizzy because of Astrid's complaining over a $4 cup of coffee. So I want to know in the comments down below, what did you pay for coffee? This last weekend, I was out at our lake house with my family, and I needed some iced coffee. I don't do some hot coffee. So I went over to Walmart, and I got a 32-ounce jug of cold brew iced coffee that I kept in the fridge while we were there. $5. I told my kids, I was like, this giant jug of coffee costs as much as what your mom gets her white chocolate mocha from Starbucks, around $4, like Astrid's complaining about. And so, you know, there really is the value equation here is, man, I could really use some coffee, but I'm going to grab a jug of coffee for $5 instead of spending instead of getting one cup of coffee for $4. So I think she's very smart for that. So hit the like button if you agree with Astrid, if you are tired of $4 cups of coffee, or hit the like button because, you know what, you like Warren Buffett, the man himself, anything with him in it is awesome. We can all learn something from this guy. And let's go into our final story. This family just sold $4 billion worth of Walmart stock during the first half of 2023. I tell you what, I wish I had a problem where I would have to sell $4 billion of Walmart stock or $4 billion of any stock. But if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Ewell, and I love talking about stocks and finding those outsized returns with outlier trades. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And don't forget, today's episode is sponsored by OVLYR. Go to OVTLYR.com to find out why outliers win. $4.39 billion worth of Walmart stock was sold by the Walton company. And I was reading through this, and what I saw, which I did not know, is half of Walmart stock is reportedly held by Sam Walton, the founder, and his brother James Budd's 7 heirs. And so far, that includes Rob, Jim, Alice, and all them. And let's see. Walmart said, I thought this was super interesting. In April, Walmart has said that their Chicago stores have never been profitable ever since they were first opened 17 years ago. And during that same month, Walmart sold its Bonobos menswear brand at a $235, I would assume, $1 million loss. And that came after it sold for $75 million after all this other stuff. But the point is that they took a huge write-off on Bonobos. Their Chicago stores have never been profitable. And they're saying, you know what? I think we should do something about this. The family is looking around. They're seeing the outlier signal that had a buy signal, in fact, back on July 14th. And they said, we're going to sell while the market's going up while we can. Let's make $4 billion. Let's take that out of the market. Let's go buy a couple of yachts. Let's go buy a couple of countries. Let's go buy a couple of islands to go hang out on. But the point is that the Walton family has seen the writing on the wall, and they decided to take $4 billion off the table. So what do you think? Down in the comments down below. What do you think that they're going to be spending the $4 billion that they just took out in cash on? Or do you think they're going to be reinvesting it in something new? I mean, with $4 billion, you can do a lot of awesome stuff. You can make a lot of companies. You can make a lot of charities. I don't know what they're up to, but I would really like to know down below what you think. And if you like this video. And if you are also thinking, man, what could I do with $4 billion? Smash that like button. And thank you so much for coming to today's OVLYR live stream. We covered, Steve Wozniak says, get the heck out of all the Facebook products if you still have any. We talked about Warren Buffett's wife. She is over these $4 cups of coffee. Does that mean they're going to be going down in price? Has inflation finally caught up to the coffee and now it's going to come back down? And finally, somebody just took $4 billion home. What do you think they're going to do with that? I don't know, but I got some crazy ideas that I could do with $4 billion. Be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to come back tomorrow. And Mahesh is going to be talking about his stock picks. Thank you so much for coming to today's OVLYR Live. We'll see you on the next episode.